Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to boot camp. Jazzy here, and I have a good workout plan for us today. So, going off with our theme, we're spelling out fall today. I think it went from zero to fall very quickly here in the Bay Area. We got rain yesterday, so it's tis the season for fall. So we're gonna be spelling out fall. We're gonna do 4 rounds today. We're gonna do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest slash transition time. And I'm gonna do a quick demo. We don't need any equipment. You just need enough space to lay down on your back. But real quick with our demos here, we're gonna start off on the ground on our backs. For our F, we're going to do some flutter kicks here. So on our back, keeping our core engaged, so breathe through our straw, legs are nice and straight. We're alternating, kicking back and forth. We want to try and keep our legs as straight as we can. This one, I'm not going to lie, is going to be really tough for me. I have a bad hip on this side where that movement really does not feel good. So bear with me here. I might try it. I might have to switch something else out for there. But we're going to start with the flutter kicks, and then we're going to stand up. And our A, we're going to do bent over A's here. So feet are going to be hip width apart, pushing our hips back, hands starting out in front. Squeeze through our armpits, lift our arms up and back down. So we want to really squeeze through our armpits and then pull and back down. So that's going to be our A. And then for both of our L's. So first thing we're going to do are lateral squats. So lateral squats are going to be nice and wide here, toes facing forward. We're going to shift all of our weight to one side, drive through our heel big toe, little toe, stand back up, and then the other side and back up. So we're going to alternate between our sides there. And then for our other L, we're going to do a lateral lunge here. So we're going to step out to one side, push the ground away, come back up. And then the other side, again, push the ground away and come back up. So that's going to be our whole workout for today. So like I said, 4 rounds through. We're going to go ahead and get started really quick with our warm-up. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the world's greatest stretch. Y'all already know. Interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pull our knee towards our chest. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, step back into a reverse lunge. Our hands are going to come out on the inside of our front foot. Keeping our back leg nice and straight. We're going to hang out here for a second. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, opening up towards our front leg, gazing past our thumb here. Thumb is facing behind us. So my palm is not this way, it is this way. It's going to help us open up our back a little bit more. And we're going to exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, bring our back leg a little bit closer into our hamstring stretch. Nice, big, deep breath. And we're going to exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to interlace our fingers, grab onto our left knee, pull in towards our chest. Nice, big, deep breath. And we're going to exhale, step back into our reverse lunge. Back leg stays nice and straight. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Really working on opening up our hips here, breathing into the belly. And we're going to exhale, opening up towards our front leg. Again, looking at our hand, thumb is facing behind us. Breathing into our belly. And we're going to exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, bring our back foot a little bit closer, push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we can go ahead and exhale and bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. Awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and make our way on the ground. On our hands and knees, we're going to do some quadruped rocks with our adductor stretch. This is going to get us ready for all of our lateral squats and lunges we're doing today. So on the ground, on our hands and knees, we're going to take one foot. We're going to stick it straight out to the side like a kickstand. We're going to keep our pinky toe on the ground. Our other foot is right behind our knee. So we're nice and straight there. We're going to go ahead, inhale, rock back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. 2 more here, rocking back. And exhaling forward. And last one, rocking back. And exhaling forward. And once we finish our last one, we can bring our knee back up underneath our hip. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking our opposite foot, again, straight out to side like a kickstand. And we're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rock back. Exhaling, forward. 2 more here, rocking back. Exhaling, forward. And last one, rocking back. And exhaling, forward. And after we finish our last one, we can go ahead and bring our knee back up underneath our hip, and we are ready to rock and roll. So starting off, we're spelling out fall. We're on our backs on the ground. We're starting with our flutter kicks first. And we're doing 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 4 times through. And I'm going to get the timer ready here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're on our backs. This one, we want to have our core engaged. So we're going to exhale through our straw, bring our core together, legs are straight out in front, and we're alternating here in that flutter kick. So we do want to try and keep our legs as straight as we can. Like I was saying during our demos, my right hip, this is not feeling good at all. So if you were like me, I don't even know if I'm on the screen. I have a slight bend in my knee and I just focus on using my core. You can also just kind of hold your legs there as well if that feels good. I want us to try to avoid placing our hands underneath our hips. So I don't want us doing that. That takes our core out of it. So I really want us to work on strengthening the core. 3, 2, 1. All right. That one's not going to last very long. We're standing up real quick. Bent over A's. 3, 2, 1. So we're bringing our butt to our belly button, pushing our hips back, hands straight out in front. We squeeze our armpits as we bring our arms straight back and down. So squeeze the armpits and come up. So if we act like we have a piece of paper in between our body and our arm, don't let that paper fall. But that paper isn't going to fall, but then we're going to pull our arm, making sure we're pulling with our lat muscles. So from this angle, we're here into an A. We should feel that right in through here. And then also, again, keeping our core engaged. So zip that core up. Keeping our butt to our belly button so our back is nice and flat. Pulling those arms back. This one's great for posture. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have lateral squats here. So we're going to keep our legs nice and wide. Toes pointed forward. 3, 2, 1. So we're shifting all of our weight to one side. Knee is over the second toe. Chest is over the arch of our foot, or really in the middle, but shifted over. We're alternating sides. I'm going to face this way for a little bit. So same as like a lunge or a regular squat where our feet are directly beneath us. It's the same form. So our knee is coming forward, our hips are coming back, our core is engaged, our chest is staying open. We're going down as low as we can. Mechanically, I know for me doing this, my hips do not work when they're not directly, when my feet are not directly under me. So you might be noticing that for yourself as well. That is okay. This is a different but similar movement. 3, 2, 1. All right. Awesome. We're going to do lateral lunges next. So lots of lateral movement today. We're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So we're in the middle of our space. We're stepping out and then push the ground away. So it's essentially the same movement, but it's a little bit different because we are actually pushing off. So there's a little bit more of a drive here as we come up. But lots of single leg movement today. That's also why we did the quad rocks with the adductor stretch. So we can really open that up to make this movement a little bit easier for us. And then from this angle, again, it looks just like the lateral squat. It's just a little bit different of a movement. Our emphasis is in a different place because we do have to push and fully come back up. So it's a little bit more explosive. 3, 2, 1. All right, round 1 is done. We're getting back on the ground. We got 3 more rounds to go. We're doing flutter kicks. 3, 2, 1. So exhale, breathe through that straw. Get our legs at a good angle. So if you can work within, I can't even get my legs up. So if you can work with both your legs down here, do that. If you need to go up higher like I am, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're using your core, you're pulling your legs with your core. My hip is popping super bad. All right, it's good. We're breathing through the movement. We're using our core. If you need to hold instead of doing a flutter kick, do that. You can also do a dead bug hold out of whatever feels good for you today. Everything feels different for everyone. 3, 2, 1. All right. Standing up, we have bent over A's. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. I don't think I fully thought out the flutter kick thing. We are going to be spelling fall out again tomorrow, but we're not doing flutter kicks tomorrow. I've learned my lesson. I knew it was going to be hard. Even when I was writing it up, I was like, wow, that's going to be really hard for me to do. But that's why I say it all the time. Sometimes things are hard. We don't like doing them, but it does make us stronger physically and mentally. And I also always say that we can do things as long as it's really not painful for us. So that's where this one is starting to get a little painful for my hip. Tendonitis in your hip flexor doesn't go away when you keep using it. So that's kind of that. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got lateral squats, then lateral lunges, and then we're halfway done. So getting our legs nice and wide here. 3, 2, 1. If you would like to make it more challenging for yourself, you can go a little bit slower. You can pause at the bottom for a second or two, driving through the heel. You can also come up a little bit slower too as well. So if you go nice and slow down, pause, nice and slow up, you're definitely going to be contracting more muscles here. You also, if you have dumbbells, you can grab and hold on to the dumbbell right underneath your chin like a goblet squat. You can do that. Or if you have like a gallon of milk, a gallon bottle of water, or some books, whatever way you have to make it more challenging, feel free. There's lots of different ways to make things a little bit harder. Tempos, resistance. We're also working for longer time here today. 3, 2, 1. It's been a while since we've done 50-10, so I figured I'd sprinkle that in this week since we have less movements. 3, 2, 1. All right, lateral lunges. So again, if you want to make it harder, feel free to move slower, or you can grab a weight or any sort of weight that you have. Face this way, making sure hips are going back and our knee is coming forward at the same time. So we don't want to be here and have our knee come forward. We want to step out, our knees forward, but our hips are also going back, trying to stay as upright as we can through our torso. I know with this, it can be a little bit more challenging. Try and get down as low as we can here. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right. Awesome. 2 rounds down, 2 to go. Flutter kicks are next. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to do some dead bugs here instead. So if this is also a movement that maybe your hips are not thanking you, or if you have snapping hip syndrome like I do, whatever you got to do. We just want to make sure we're working our core here, focusing on pulling our legs back in, exhaling, using the core, especially with the flutter kicks too. We want to act like we have a grape underneath our low back. So it doesn't need to be fully on the ground, but our back should be on the ground. So that's where if you come up higher, you can usually use your core a little bit more, focus on the back, or really just zip the core up and your legs are attached. 3, 2, 1. All right. Bent over A's are next. We're standing up. 3, 2, 1. So for this one, if we want to make it a little bit more challenging, we can hold at the top for a few seconds. I really want us to think about pulling. It's just like with a row. We're rowing, we're pulling the weight towards us. Or if you're opening a door, you're pulling the door open. We want to use this muscle as we pull in. So same thing here, we're pulling in. Or the same with the bent over row. We're pulling in using our back muscles. So this one's going to be really good for posture. Our lat muscle is one of the largest ones in our bodies. It starts here on the back of the pelvis, comes all the way up and wraps around, attaches here. So it's responsible for a lot of movement within our bodies. 3, 2, 1. So it's really important to make sure it's nice and strong. All right, we got lateral squats and then lateral lunges, and we got one more round. 3, 2, 1. So again, shifting all of our weight over. This is really a hip intensive workout, so I apologize for that. I did not realize it was going to be so hip intensive until right now my hip is already bothering me. So we live and learn. Sometimes I don't know how challenging things are going to be until we start doing them. So, but like I said, tomorrow we are going to be spelling out fall again. It will be a different workout. I'm also going to be spelling out fall for total body strength in the morning. So if you want to check that one out with me, it'll be a lot different since we will have weights to use for that one. Great job. We're finishing strong here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Maybe tomorrow's all going to be hinging. I might have to switch that. We got lateral lunges here. 3, 2, 1. Wow. These sirens have been going off every time I have to be on camera today. Don't know what's going on with that. So my apologies if you hear those sirens. Pros and cons of living in the middle of a downtown. For this, it does also help if we exhale as we're pushing the ground away. It can help us with that explosiveness, which is what we're getting from doing a lateral lunge versus a lateral squat. Like I was saying last time, that yes, we can make it more challenging for ourselves by doing certain things, but we are doing longer work periods today. So it's going to be challenging anyways. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last round coming up, starting with flutter kicks or dead bugs if that feels better for you. 3, 2, 1. So coming out, pulling our legs back in with our core. And just hold that there for a second. But again, moving nice and slow if we need to. Great job. Use your core here as we pull back in. It's going to help us really take the pressure off of our hips when we use our core. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, we're done with those for today. We got 3 more movements, and we're going to cool down. We got bent over A's. 3, 2, 1. So feet hip width. Push the door closed. Again, pull with your back here. You really want to make sure, again, if we have that piece of paper in between our arm and our body, don't let that paper fall. We should feel our lats activate with that. Moving nice and slow, making sure we're getting the proper intent here. Making sure you're feeling it in your back like we should be. You might feel your low back have some, like, I don't want to say tightness, but we are using our low back statically by sitting like this. So we are going to start to feel a little bit of fatigue going on in our low back. 3, 2, 1. As always, as long as there's no pain associated, it's good, but it will be a little bit fatigued. All right, we got lateral squats. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna do our lateral squats and then our lateral lunges. And then I think we're gonna have time to do 2 cool down movements because we only did 4 things today. So I think we're gonna have a little bit more time than normal to cool down, which I don't know about y'all, but I can definitely use that today. My body has been very tired lately. That's what happens when you start teaching a little bit more throughout the week. You gotta listen. I'm preaching my recovery talk a little early this week. I usually save that for Fridays, but listen to your body. Try and recover each and every day by doing little things for yourself, like taking walks, stretching, foam rolling. 3, 2, 1. Whatever you can do every day to help your body recover is going to be more beneficial. 3, 2, 1. And I know I need to practice what I preach. So I'm starting to incorporate a few more things every day to give myself some more downtime physically and mentally. So definitely don't neglect that. It's really easy to just keep going, not give ourselves a break, and then all of a sudden we wake up super stressed and tired saying, why do we feel like this? And that's exactly how I feel. So that's where we have to start incorporating things little by little. So then that over time, we can recover a little bit better and easier and stay a little bit more resilient. Awesome. We got about 10 more seconds. Now we're going to cool down. Finish strong here. Try and get a few more lunges on each side. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it for our circuit today. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. We're going to go ahead, make our way onto the ground. And we're going to be on our backs first. We're going to do the figure 4 to open up our hips a little bit more. And then time permitting, we'll do some bretzel after that. So that will also open up our hips. So on the ground here, both our feet are going to be on the ground. We're going to take one ankle, cross it over the opposite knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, go ahead and interlace your fingers and grab either behind your knee or in front of your shin. And pull your knee towards your chest. And start to slow your breath down, breathing into your belly, feeling your hips and your low back expand. Really relaxing into our stretch here. I'm going to feel it opening up our piriformis and our glutes, and that will also help us open up the front of our hips. We're going to do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently bring our foot back to the ground and then the other foot. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our opposite ankle, crossing it over our knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, let's go ahead and interlace your fingers, grab either behind your knee or in front of your shin and pull your knee towards your chest. Again, breathing into the belly, really feeling everything open up here. And we're going to do one more breath. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently bring our foot back to the ground. And then the other foot. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way onto our side. We're going to finish out with some bretzel here. So we're going to go ahead and take our top leg from our side. It's going to come up, over, and across our body. Knee and ankle stay on the ground. And our bottom hand is going on top of our knee. Our top hand is going to grab onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. And with each exhale, let our bodies sink further into the ground. We focus on making our exhales longer than our inhales. It's going to calm our body down, calm our heart rate down. Going to do a little bit of a reset here midday. And one more breath here. And when we're ready, we can gently release our bottom foot. And we can roll over onto our other side. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our top leg. It's going to come up over to cross. Knee and ankle on the ground. Bottom hand on top of our knee. Top hand is going to grab onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. Really sighing away all of our tension here today. And let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release our bottom leg. And from here, feel free to lay on the ground for a little longer or roll over onto your hands and knees and return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. That is going to be all the time for today's class. So hopefully we got a good workout out of that. I know it was a lot of hip stuff today, but if you need to get some extra stretching in, doing a little bit more hip flexor stretches is always a good idea. Or doing a little bit more pretzel always will work as well.